morning. Welcome to Daylight with Dean number 56. And it is June 6th, 2020. I am so glad that you are up and with me this morning on this Saturday morning. It is great to see you here together today. I'd like to open with a word of coffee. Here we go. Yesterday, my friend left a comment on Daylight that she just laughs out loud, cracks up every time I take my first sip. So, Christina, that was for you, and I hope that it might bring you a little joy as it brings me so much joy. Wow. So yesterday it was our first day in green in Western Pennsylvania, and it was fascinating. I don't know if many of you remember my story a little over a month ago when my daughter was taking her finals and her computer went that was issued to her at Grove City College. So I had to drive it up to Grove City to get it repaired on a day trip, and I headed up. It's only an hour and 15 minutes, but it was raining, and it was the first time I took my Tahoe out with my freshly installed plexiglass sunroof that I glued to the top of the Tahoe since it had been damaged by a tree and wasn't going to be able to put a real sunroof back. And when I say I glued it, I guess I misused that word. I used bathroom tile and grout caulking that, no, it wasn't bathroom caulking, it was exterior. So it could get rained on, it was waterproof. I'm like, this will do the trick. And I installed it and it looked perfect, and I was so excited. Drove it for the next couple days just in the sunshine, and then finally decided, well, today's the day. I'm going to take it out in the rain. So heading up to Butler, I noticed white streaks coming back. This was last month. I shared this story already. And then on Route 8 between Butler and Harrisonville, I'm driving, and all of a sudden I wonder, who opened the window in here? And I realized that no one was in the car. No one opened the window. I did not accidentally open the window. And I looked up, and then my sunroof is separating. I got a gap this big where the wind is separating the sunroof from the top of the car. So as I shared, I slowed down. I was doing about 65 because I can't drive 55. And I slowed down and then went to a Dollar General, bought white duct tape, stopped at a Sheetz gas station under the awning, dried it all off, put white duct tape on it, and there it stayed until yesterday. The temptation was to make the white duct tape a permanent fix, but decided not to. So my friend is a body man. He's worked on cars, owned his own body shop. He has agreed to help me with this, and so set yesterday aside to do that. And so I got over there a little before noon, started peeling all of the caulking off, and it was an arduous process because it was stuck, but just not good enough to hold the sunroof. And so it became clear it was going to take a couple hours to clear off all of the residue off the top of the Tahoe. And then it was going to take a couple more hours to clear all the residue off of my piece of plexiglass because it was covered with caulking around the edges, and also the white streaking and the duct tape residue. And so I didn't pay much for it when it began, and I decided to call my company that made it for me here in Arnold, and I reached out to them and was terrified that the price would have gone up exponentially more than you can imagine, and it was 25% higher than original, but that's not a problem. And basically they said, if you get the pattern to us, we can go ahead and cut it this afternoon and you'll be good to go. So I called my wife. I'm like, Leslie, I need your help. And she's been very willing to help me during my recovery from my surgery. And I said, can you take this down and have them cut it? And she said, I'll take it down. So I called the office lady, and she said, look, I have a story to tell you, but I don't want you to be mad at me. Okay. And she said, I got one look at your wife, and I just told her, you look more like his daughter than his wife. I mean, you really look more like his daughter. You could be his daughter than his wife. And she told me, and I laughed, and I said, that's okay. I hear that quite often. I'm a lucky man. I have no idea what I did to deserve such an amazing person and such a beautiful girl. And I had no idea what she did that she got stuck with me. She goes, oh, I don't know, you're a pretty good guy too, she said. So she was, she told me not to be mad at her. She told me that story. It was funny. And she told Leslie that she wasn't going to tell me and for her not to tell me. So, thank you for noticing how youthfully beautiful my wife is, and I am a lucky man. So, I got this plexiglass and continued working on it. And when I say working, it was not strenuous. I just had to stand on my running board and use my thumb to try to peel off the residue. And then I had some mineral spirits, which is similar to paint thinner, but not quite as harsh and damaging to paint. So I used it to get all the adhesive off the whole way around, cleared the surface. We sanded it down with just a Scotch-Brite pad and got it ready, both it and the new plexiglass, to receive the 3M glue, automotive glue, that my friend said is the product I should have used from the beginning. And so he took the lead and installed the glue the whole way around on the roof. And we moved the plexiglass into place, set it in place, and then made sure it was sealed the whole way around. Then he went around with the glue again, the caulking glue, and put a nice big bead the whole way around it. And he was quite certain that I would not have any trouble. He still wants to take a drill holes through it and through my roof and put screws in it. And I said, well, why don't we do this? I said, I'm always going to carry a roll of white duct tape in my glove box. So if it starts to separate again when I'm driving down the road, I'll hear it, and I'll get out and tape it shut with duct tape like it did last time, and then we'll drill holes in my roof and secure it and do it exactly how you want me to when the day's over. So I go over today to pick it up. We did all that at his house, and I'm very excited. Now, the other thing that I'm excited in my Tahoe, the passenger side mirror was ripped off by the tree when it fell on it in November, and I bought a passenger mirror from Craigslist from somebody who was selling it, who had gotten a bigger set of mirrors for their truck. I think I paid $35 for both the right and the left mirror. Now, the one I bought doesn't have the turn signal light that lights up like the other side does. However, I looked at him and I said, now, Chad, answer me this. To put this mirror on, is this a job that would take you all day? Is it a job that would take you 2 hours, 30 minutes, 10 minutes? How big of a time commitment would it be to put this mirror on? And he didn't answer me. So when I pulled the Tahoe out to get in the sun so the glue would dry even better, he was looking for some tools, and went over my door panel and started taking the door panel off, and I realized he's changing out my mirror too. So he changed out my mirror, and it took him about 15 minutes. He ordered very fast and efficiently. And when we were all done, went and sat up at his house and just visited and talked and ordered pizza from a local restaurant that was open back up for dining, and ordered 2 pizzas for takeout, and ordered him one, ordered my family one, and vowed to pay for it. And his wife was like, "Why are you paying for it?" And I said, "Look, your husband has a specific set of skills that I do not have. He spent hours working on this, helping me with this today. The very least that I could do is to buy your $17 pizza. So I'm paying for your pizza." I say all that to say the gift of friendship is just a treasured gift. And this friend that helped me so much yesterday has been my workout buddy as well. And we've been doing life together for about the past 4 years. And he's been a significant gift to me in my life. And one of the inventories that I was taking yesterday is just the gift of meaningful, deep, real friendship. And now I know I've talked about it before, and when I thought about telling the story, I'm like, I want to camp out on friendship, but I was thinking about it, new friends and meaningful friends, and I'm like, you already talked about it. Like, that's true, and I've already talked about joy, I've already talked about prayer, I've already talked about light and being a little bit, and I'll probably visit all those subjects again. But I want to invite you to continue to open your life up to new friendships and new experiences and new things, because our lives will be richer and fuller when we do that. Remaining flexible still is helpful, because when we showed up to pick up the pizza 45 minutes later, there was some confusion when I ordered the pizza, and they only made one of the pizzas, my friend's pizza. And so they said, we can make your pizza in 8 minutes. If you can wait 8 minutes, we'll put it to the front of the line. I said, I can wait. So if you ever really want to know when they tell you it's going to take an hour for your pizza, it really is only going to take about 8 minutes to make your pizza. And when I was there, connected with several friends at the restaurant, that it just was good to see them. It was good to be with them. It was good to have some sense of normalcy and joy. So that was my adventure yesterday. I have no idea. Oh, and the other thing that I didn't tell you was I got to the house at 11:45 yesterday and started working on it, 11:30, 11:45. At 12:10, I reached out to my film guy who films my sermons, because when we went to film Sunday sermon Thursday evening, the heavens opened and rain ensued and we couldn't film. So we decided to film Friday afternoon. So I reached out to him and I said, when would be a good time to film this afternoon? And he said, it's 10 after 12. He responded, 12:30. I'm like, oh no. I just got to my friend's house, just started working on this. He is not going to be happy. So I told him I had to go film, and dropped everything, changed my clothes, came back, filmed, and it came together really well. It came together really, really well. I revisited a little bit of our conversation on Tuesday about light and darkness, since the sermon is on Jesus' statement, I am the light. And so that's a little, when you watch Daylight leading up to a sermon, you'll probably get a few appetizers before the sermon about the theme. So that was my adventure yesterday. Now, I'm not sure what today holds and what today will be like, but I'm quite certain it will involve some projects that my wife's been wanting me to complete that I haven't finished yet. And so I hope that you have a great Saturday, and I hope that you have a great weekend. I hope that you take time to engage in your church's weekend worship experience, whether that is back in person, face to face, or whether that is online again. Tomorrow I'll be filling you in on the details in New Kensington about gathering back together at the river and what that is going to look like. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. I'd like to just close in prayer. Father, I just thank you so much for each person here. I pray that you would bless them today. May they have a restful and replenishing Saturday. May they accomplish things that need to get done. May they be mindful of you and invite you to do their day with them. And may they live with gratitude for the many blessings that you have brought their way. So often, Lord, if I'm not careful, I will miss those. And so, Lord, help me live with my eyes wide open today, looking for those expressions of blessing that you have sent my way, that I help me see them. And thank you for the gift of gratitude. And thank you for the gift of life. Jesus, I love you so much. And I thank you for your deep love for me. And I thank you that you experienced deep, rich friendships. And I thank you for allowing me to experience those. Thank you for the expanding friendships in my life of those who interact with me on Daylight. And I just ask, Lord, that you would bless them now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Guys, I hope you have a great day today. We'll see you tomorrow.